Hey, so Mark Carney went on The Daily Show, and that actually matters to us here in Canada for two reasons. One, it sounds like Carney, the former governor of the Bank of Canada, former governor of England, okay, so had all sorts of big fancy jobs. It sounds like Carney is going to be running to be the next Liberal leader. And what that means is that he will, for at least a time, if he wins, be also the de facto Prime Minister of Canada. Yes, even without an election, when the Liberals pick their new leader, that leader will be the Prime Minister of Canada. It's also important for a second reason, and that's because Carney has been a huge fan of the carbon tax, like for years. It's all through his previous public statements and through his books, okay, his articles, okay? You can look them up yourself. But what's important here going forward is what Liberal leadership candidates are saying now about the carbon tax. And he was on The Daily Show and he was asked about the carbon tax and he gave some cute answer. He didn't even answer the question. He was cute. So let's get real clear here. There's nothing cute about the carbon tax. Nothing. This is not some philosophical dissertation about the nature of central banking that he's giving at Oxford. Okay? This is not a concept. The carbon tax is a cold, hard reality for Canadians. And it costs them a ton of money. We've got a deadline coming up here, folks. April 1st, the carbon tax is going up. After that increase, the carbon tax is going to cost you about $15 extra every time you fill up your minivan, just in the carbon tax. It's going to cost you about $25 extra to fill up a pickup truck. Truckers are going to have to pay about $250 extra in the carbon tax to fill up their big rigs with diesel. And trucks, they deliver basically everything we eat and use here in Canada. And the industry says that the carbon tax cost them, just for long haul trucking last year, $2 billion. You see how this is adding up and costing you more and more money? And it's winter. And here in Alberta, the average household is going to have to pay about $400 extra just for the sin of heating their home for the winter using natural gas. So this is not a philosophical concept or a fun little intellectual exercise. This is the reality of the carbon tax. So going forward, every single Liberal leadership candidate has got to answer the question: will they scrap the carbon tax? Will they do it before the election actually happens, sparing people the increase that's hitting us on April 1st? If they do say now that they're all of a sudden not fans of the carbon tax, no, and they're going to scrap it, are they going to replace it with something? And if they do, what? These Liberal leadership candidates owe it to Canadians to be clear with them. And they need to answer the question: scrap the carbon tax? Yes or no?